What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of BurlyFishing. Today we're working on the Hobie. Specifically, we're going to install our fish finder. So this is a fish finder I've been using for a long time. It's a Lowrance Hook 2, the 5-inch screen. It's going to work just fine, and we're going to pair it up with the Burly Pro FPV power battery on the Burly Pro Batarang, and this drops into our 8-inch back hatch at the back of the boat. So I think it's gonna be slick. It's gonna be drill free, no holes drilled in the boat just yet. We're gonna have to do that later for the Boondocks landing gear, so stay tuned for that one. But before we get to the build out, if you guys like the video, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, hit the notification bell so you can see when we post more stuff. There's gonna be a lot of projects, especially since we just got this boat. So this is the Hobie Pro Angler 14-foot 360 drive, and we're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna rig this baby out. Once it's all done, I'll have each individual project, but once it's all done, we'll do the all-encompassing rigged edition. So stay tuned for that. But for today, the goal is get this thing live so we can find us some fish, some structure, contours, humps, things like that. It's just easier with one of these bad boys. And the install is really not that bad. It's been a while since I've done it, so I'm gonna need a little bit of a refresher, but hey, we'll get it done. Let's do it. The end. It's done. All right, guys, so we got a multi-step operation here. What we're gonna end up doing is we actually have to drop. You could do this by flipping the boat over. I've got this stand, so it's kind of nice. I can reach up underneath. So we're gonna go underneath. I'm gonna loosen up the Guardian shield, which is the retractable transducer mount that the Hobies come with. And once I loosen that up, then I can actually pop on our transducer cover. This is a little bonk guard for it. And we're gonna mount the transducer first. We'll just knock this out, it's just easier. It's gonna look like that underneath. So we got our bonk guard right there. This will be locked in place and double zip tied. So we do have to drill some holes, I lied, into the Guardian shield, which is fine, no big deal. That's not really an important piece of technology for us to worry about. So we'll have it zip tied just to keep it nice and secure on the bottom of the boat. And we'll re-rig that, lock it all up. Wiring's done here, so this will go straight to the fish finder. And really the hardest part is probably wiring the battery. So I just have to make sure I crimp those wires well enough. But we'll get to that in a minute, eh? All right, so first thing we had to do, just had to loosen this screw here, pop this off on the inside. See, it's got a little loop tied to it. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna untie this loop, and there's a little loop on the inside, a little loop down there. So that's the inside of the Guardian shield. And we're gonna end up tethering this to it because we have our transducer cable right here, right? Which is pulling that. So we'll be able to lock that transducer up into place when we're coming ashore. Next, we're going underneath so I can show you what the Guardian shield looks like. Here's our Guardian shield. We're gonna pop all these screws out and get it so it actually retracts. So get it active, and then replace this with our bonk cover, slide the transducer through, and it's gonna look real nice. All right, guys, welcome to the dungeon. We're gonna just take this thing off real quick. So, Guardian shield, when you first take it off, it's got all these little screws on the inside. We're gonna just take all those out, and that's gonna allow this thing to move freely. And then, of course, we just gotta install that little bonk cover there. We're gonna drill a couple holes into this thing once we line that up. I might drill the holes first before I do the little bonk cover, but we'll see. All right, guys, so it's all set here. So just put in these two brackets that come with the kit. They come with the Hobie, really. You got one, the longer bolt goes through here, washer, lock nut on this end, and then the shorter bolt goes through here. And we added rubber washers with a lock nut on this end And these rubber washers in the middle are the important ones. They're just gonna keep this thing from rotating like up and down. And then we're gonna add zip ties anyways. So we're gonna punch 2 holes, boom, boom, on either side. I'll mark them off and drill it in without hitting the transducer to keep it safe. And then zip tie right through, and we'll be done at this part. And then we can move to the more easy parts. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna untie this. So we are good to go. So now, hop back underneath, tie that down, bolt this thing up, make sure it pulls up, and whew, we're good.
Let me bolt this thing back in real quick. Okay.
All right guys, so we're getting close. So we take that cable, you saw me run it up from the bottom. We're gonna re-secure via our screw here this plate, which just kind of protects It really protects me from getting splash coming up from the Guardian when you pull the transducer in. But yeah, this just kind of covers up the hole there. We keep that cable kind of taut there. So we feed it back through this hole here in. That comes out here. Okay, so I got my bundle of cable. Then we're gonna feed that back up through, up the side, out this hole up front. Okay, so all we did was pop this little piece off here, right? And we've got our little rubber grommet guys in there. Okay, so we pre-fit this one. Your Hobie kit comes with a bunch of different ones, fit for any size cable really, even dual cables, things like that for different battery types. So we fit one snug to this cable, just so that it's mostly watertight. And now we're gonna run the battery one. So we're gonna do that and then we'll finish securing everything else. So we're at the back of the boat. Here's the 8-inch hatch at the back. By the way, pretty sweet. It's got a little bottle opener there. So I like that, nice feature. Here's our battery. Okay, this is a Burly Pro FPV Power, 7 amp hour, 12 volt battery. And it's gonna sit back here, right inside of this hatch. So we need to run the wiring all the way up to the front. We're gonna wire it to this guy right here. This comes with the kit. And then that's obviously what just plugs into the battery. Screws tight, provides power to the unit. We're gonna test that here in a second. So let's just run the wire first, and then we're gonna crimp the two exposed wire ends together. And then we can test power, and then we'll go back and secure everything down. Easier said than done. It's quite a distance to travel.
We got it coming through. All right, there we go.
And I really only want as much wire exposed as I need, no extra. You don't want a lot of extra wiggle room per se. Enough to move the unit forward and back just a little bit, or in case it got pulled, it'll slide through easily underneath the boat. So no issues there, but just in case. I try not to have too much extra. We already pre-picked out our other rubber grommet, so we're gonna slide that onto the cable. Goes onto our plastic piece here. There's something very important I just forgot. Make sure you don't forget this piece. So this part's really important to keep watertight steel and to protect the hull of the boat. Don't forget that. Make sure you put that back on. Slide this down. Make sure we still got enough room with the cables. Cables are good. Next up, we gotta wire the battery. So highly recommended if you have like the gel conductive splitters. We're gonna actually just use a simple little splice waterproof unit where you heat shrink the ends of it. And we're gonna take that to this. It's a lot easier than you think. It seems scary on the surface because it's electrical, but it's not that hard, he says as he screws it up entirely. Okay guys, so testing the battery. I haven't crimped these down yet. I haven't done the heat shrink. Again, all we're using is these little, they're called butt splices, and they're waterproof. They look like that. Pick them up at any hardware store, pretty cheap. I just turned on the unit and it's working with them just in place like this, no issues. So I'm just gonna crimp these down both tight, and then we're gonna heat shrink it with a lighter, and that's gonna add the waterproof safety for it. It isn't a waterproof hatch, so I'm not really worried about that part of it as much. It's mainly just making sure you crimp it so that they have good conductivity. Close enough. Okay, still got power. Still got power. All right, cool. All right, so that's all set right there. I'm just gonna throw on some tape. All right, so that's rigged up. So now we can take all this extra wire and just zip tie it up. All right, leave a little bit of room. That way we can pull the unit out without yanking it from the front. And we're just gonna zip tie that. Okay, that's done. Just drop her in there. Unit's still running, so we got power. You can see how the Burly Pro sits in there with that battery off to the side of the skeg line on the hull. Closes up, no problem, watertight. So that should be good. Damn. What the frick again, man? Why are spiders just falling on me? Again, I'm just like, what is flying in my face? Oh, it's a spider hanging from my hat. I'm like those witches on Halloween posters, stickers. This is the spider. So, very last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna gather up this bundle of cable here and zip tie it all together. And then I like to, there's a post right here. If you guys can see that. I like to zip tie it to that. Just so it's hanging off to the side, not in your way, easy to manage. And then we're done. This is actually the very last step. So that one's good. And then, just gonna zip tie this whole bundle like so. All right, final product, you can see right there. I'm just gonna clip that off, the extra plastic. This is out of the way because this is where my drop-in bucket goes. Dude, I did it. All right, guys, so that's it. We got power running to the unit, as you can see. Can move around, do some stuff. We are working. So options you guys have for this. If you want to do this yourself, you can get the Hobie install kit, which is super easy. They got videos you can follow too, or you can watch my video. That comes with the battery, the adapter for that battery, the wiring, those nice gel splicers, which are great for conductivity, so you don't have any electrical issues. I like those a lot. I didn't have any this time, but I think what we did will work perfectly fine. The battery's a little heavier, and it has a front mounting piece that goes in the bow of the boat, right underneath that cargo storage unit. I didn't want to do that this time. I did that with my previous boat. Didn't really like it. So we went with the Burly Pro FPV power battery kit in the back, as you saw. It's set up so I can have two batteries back there if I want another one for power pole or for lights on the boat or something else. So it leaves me open for future opportunities, which is great. That's why I like it a lot. If you're looking for other options, you can look at Noqua, N-O-Q-U-A. They also do a dual battery drop-in hatch for that, or drop-in for that back hatch, the 8-inch hatch, because otherwise that hatch is kind of useless. That skeg, really the molding for the hull of the boat for the skeg for the Hobies gets in the way. So you can't really do like a drop-in bucket back there like the older Hobies can. So it's pretty much only good for the battery. I think for the balance of the boat, lighter weight, you know, you already got a lot of weight going on with this thing. I really like that option. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. If you're looking to do it yourself, like I said, I just gave you some options there. Go check them out. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, the Hobie install kit is like 130, 150 bucks if you want the heavy battery. The Burly Pro setup that I did is about 200 bucks, I think it came out. The battery's 119. The Burly Pro Batarang is about 40 bucks for the dual kit. And then the wiring and stuff, I already had all that. So yeah, I guess not. I guess it wasn't that expensive. It's 150 bucks too. go my route. It's better, trust me. But anyways, if this video helped you guys out, you liked it, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and ring the notification bell so you can see when we post more videos. Like I said, we're gonna do more installs on this Hobie. I'm gonna rig this sucker out so you will not want to miss that. And we'll see you guys on the water.